Hi there, welcome to Respect the Roast. I'm Raul. What can we get started for you today?
Hi there, Raul. My name is John, and I would love some of that Ethiopian Sidamo you have.
All right. Hey everybody, it is Respect the Roast. We're excited to be here today. I don't know if we've ever mentioned this to you, but being in our district, we're right here on the coast of Florida. We're not far from NASA. This is the 321 district, 321 takeoff, and we are at the Titusville location, not but 20 minutes from takeoff, and we're excited to be trying Ethiopia Sidamo, right, John?
Absolutely, man. This is a flagship store here on the Space Coast, just because it's right here in Titusville, like Raul said, right down the road from Kennedy Space Center and the Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, where people have launched off this Earth and onto the moon and other places. So really excited to be here, and really excited to try this excellent coffee from Ethiopia.
Absolutely. So let's get started, okay? As everyone should know or have it in the store, Ethiopia Sidamo just came out. They had this coffee out several years ago. They brought it back, and we're super excited to try it. We're going to be using a French press today because we don't want to inhibit any sort of flavor. We want to get the full taste, right? We want to get the full complexity of this really good coffee.
Yes, definitely the raw way to brew it.
Hey guys, welcome back. We have set up, we've got our French press going now. We're at like 3 minutes and it'll be done. We're gonna press this bad boy. In the meantime, we're gonna talk to you about what it means to have in this case, sun-dried coffee. Now, whether it says sun-dried, naturally processed, dry processed, it all means the same thing, right? What that means is instead of fermenting the coffee, they're spreading out these lots of coffee, okay? And then over the course of 3 to 4 weeks, they have farmers out there every day raking this coffee to make sure it doesn't mildew, make sure it doesn't mold, and the sun is actually the one that's doing all the work. It's processing this coffee, it's drying it out. The fruit stays on the bean, all right? You're not removing the mucilage, there's none of that happening. It's all right there contained in that process, okay? What does that present? At the end of it, you're gonna get these crazy notes, but I think John's gonna tell you a little more about that.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely expecting some wild berry, flavors in there with the subtle softness to it, like nice and maybe a little bit of sweet aftertaste. Definitely light to medium bodied. I'm expecting that for sure, just because of the processing and not to mention the complexity of it being grown at 6,500 feet, which is very, very high up. I was looking at the beans and they're nice and small, and super dense, which is definitely a characteristic of a high elevation coffee. So looks like we're about 30 seconds out. Maybe you can touch on why this coffee is different from our core Ethiopia coffee that we sell 24/7.
Core Ethiopia coffee, absolutely. Now, whenever you get into a particular region, in this case, let's say Ethiopia, you're going to find similarities nonetheless, right? Then depending on which part of the actual region you get your coffee from, there will be these changes. In this case, it is this small lot coffee coming from the Sidamo region. That is what really makes it different. Our Ethiopian core coffee is more of a blend of the Ethiopian region together, right? So what you're going to find there, you get that sort of lemon, but you get berry. It's just this profile you've come to know. With this, because it's sun-dried, because it's this particular processing method, that's where you're gonna taste those flavor differences. You'll find similarities as well, but definitely differences.
While we're on the topic of the different regions in Ethiopia, what are the three different main growing regions in Ethiopia?
3 different main growing regions. Oh, John, you threw me a curveball. We've got Yirgacheffe, which is a huge one. I want to say Harar is the second one, John. Yeah. And then the third one, I want to take a shot here and say that it's Shell? Is it Shelbo? Sidamo. Oh my God, the one we're tasting, Sidamo. I wanted to say Shelbo, but that's a different region within, I believe, the Yirgacheffe region.
Awesome. So it looks like we are nice and pressed, and one interesting thing when I brew my coffee, I always like to look at it. Nice, dark, but definitely not as dark as say like a French roast.
So not as light as a blonde roast. You're right there in the middle. It's definitely a medium. All right, guys.
Oh man, looks really, really great.
And we've got to comment that the whole time we've been brewing this, the smell, the aroma you're getting off this coffee, it's just very pleasant. It smells sweet and soft. You just know that you're probably gonna like what you're getting into.
As I'm pouring it, I can really notice the texture and the complexity of it. So very exciting. So
Yeah. So there's something else we want to do now. Now that we've acknowledged that here we are on the space coast of Florida, where we launch rockets, where we launch shuttles into space, we like to acknowledge that history here. So for us, when we do coffee tastings, we're launching into the abyss. We want to do a 3, 2, 1 salute. Okay, that's what we're going to do from now on, right, John?
I absolutely agree with that. That is an amazing thing to do.
All right. Well, let's do this. So let's say 3, 2, 1. Cheers.
Sit, man.
It always surprises me. I mean, you always smell it and you think, wow, this smells really good. I know it's going to taste good, and it really does. And you know, when you look at a bag of this sun-dried Ethiopia Sidamo, you know, you get those tasting notes, this black cherry, the dark chocolate notes, and I definitely think you find those in this coffee. But you also find similarities to our core Ethiopia. You get the little bit of the lemon. Like John said, you find stone fruit.
There's some fruit in there, definitely. Our Ethiopia that we sell core, definitely a lot more peppery than this. This one's a little bit more, less on those notes and more so on the smoothness. Definitely very smooth.
You know, maybe because of my past experiences, I was expecting to have a medium body, but I almost want to say that it sits very light in the mouth. What do you think, John?
It definitely lingers on the back, kind of like falls off those back corners there a little bit.
It tastes like, I love to say this, whenever you're thinking of a body of coffee, think about when you're drinking milk, the difference between, let's say, non-fat, 2% whole milk, breve. Think about that when you think about body of coffee. And I think this is a solid, maybe like 1%. Like, I don't think it's even at the 2% level. What do you think, John?
I think you're pretty accurate with that statement, man. I could definitely agree with that. It's really interesting. I really like the complexity of it. I think that higher elevation coffee really defines the complexity of a bean, and just like the sheer denseness of it.
You know, while we're drinking this, and we didn't do it for ourselves today, but I'll say this. You know, a lot of people like to sort of chide on putting cream in your coffee. There's nothing wrong with putting cream in your coffee, and to many people who I've talked to, and I'm sure John's had the same experience, adding a little cream to your coffee a lot of times sort of accentuates or brings out notes that you wouldn't have otherwise experienced. So do put some cream in this coffee, because I think what you're gonna taste is gonna be a really cool experience.
Absolutely. And while we're talking about adding things to your coffee, a lot of times, you know, when we do coffee tastings in our store, we're gonna have a pastry from the case, maybe a cookie or a piece of loaf to pair it with. And you know, there's nothing wrong with pairing it with a food item or adding cream to your coffee, but sometimes a coffee as good as this is just excellent by itself. And
whatever you prefer, drink well.
Alright guys, just to recap, we tried the Ethiopia Sidamo with the French press. Truly a delicious and complex cup of coffee. I really enjoyed it, and I think Raul did too. Do you have anything else on that, man?
Yeah, you know, the Ethiopia Sidamo is a delicious coffee. We love that sun-dried process we talked about. You know, whenever we try coffees here, we do like to sometimes offer a pairing, right? If you're doing it with a customer. In our cases, we like to think outside the box. So, you know, most stores have something like a blueberry kind bar. This is something that might go really well with this coffee. It'd be a good one to try. If you want to go within our own case, you can think of something like the core cranberry orange scone to taste with it. Think of like the dark cherry, that cranberry might go well. Have fun with that, taste it out, and make sure to share this experience with your partners, with your customers. Let's sell some coffee for sure.
Definitely. At-home coffee is always a great thing to not only try and sell to our customers, but more so educate our customers, because, you know, we're not just selling coffee, we're passionate about it, and we want to spread that passion and that love for what we do every day.
And on the word of passion, look out for the next video. We're going to be talking about the old faithful Chemex. So we'll try this coffee and see if we like it better there or not. All right, guys.
Awesome. We'll see you next time. Hi there, partners. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Respect the Roast. Please remember to like and share, and, you know, maybe drop us a line in the comments section with any suggestions or questions. Thanks.